I met him in 1966 and became a patient of mine after he broke his leg, unfortunately, during the final game of the World Cup. He seemed all right, although he was in agony, obviously.
Oh, he was a right little rascal, crying all the time, couldn't shut him up.
Actually, I've only met Phil one time, back in '95 at a Beatles convention. In fact, he was very rude to me. He did sign all the Beatles records for me.
Oh, we met in basic training, and he was well hard. He was the first one over everything. He was, Phil was just, he could do everything.
And the Rolf Harris records, a couple of Cilla Black records.
Я встретила Фила Гриффина впервые, когда мне было 9 лет. Мы ходили в школу вместе в моем родном городе Гжатске.
Well, I first met Phil in reception at school, and he looked really quiet actually. He was quite a quiet boy. He had a full head of hair, which is quite nice.
But he seemed very, very angry at having to sign all those records, and really was quite a rude man.
I was sitting on the shelf in Curry's, and he was walking up and down the aisle. I thought he was very studious, in particular about the way he was choosing his printers, and I thought at the time he'd made an excellent choice in choosing me with all my multifunctional inkjet properties and scanning abilities. I thought he was great, yeah.
Он был новичком, он появился посредине 3-го класса, и он был на 2 года старше меня. Так часто случалось, так как это произошло после войны. Его огромная улыбка – это первое, что я заметила. С ним было легко разговаривать, и у него всегда было что рассказать.
I never knew him at school. I was only manufactured in 2004.
I'm his mum.
We didn't go to school.
Phil and we became friends in reception, and we used to share toys together, and we used to play a lot in sandpits and with the Pokemon cards, and I mean, I'm not that bitter about it, but he stole one of my pencils, and it was my favourite pencil, and it's just really sad, sorry, I can't carry on.
I've spent many years researching Phil Griffin and how he invented the printing press in 1436. It took him many years to develop the technology, but he finally unveiled his creation. And some people have nicknamed him the modernism teacher, or the bringer of teaching, because his printing press really did revolutionize the world. It brought newspapers and books. And in more recent years, he has gone on to create the new Lexmark printer, which has brought electronic printing to the world.
One of Phil's main hobbies is he's an avid metal detector fan. In fact, he introduced Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones to metal detecting.
Well, I'm helping him train, obviously, get himself back into shape for the next World Cup.
Oh, I probably shouldn't tell you this really, but he loves tap dancing. He always has. Yeah, he loves to tap dance.
Phil probably prints a lot in his spare time. I think he also likes to horse ride.
Фил читает книги о космосе и проводит много времени, смотря на звездное небо глубокой ночью. Во всяком случае, я так считаю.
Steal people's things, maybe?
No, we played poker a lot, but we had to use mud for chips because, well, there was nothing really in the trenches otherwise. And, well, he loved prostitutes, French prostitutes. Fucking loved them.
Well, only I know this, so it's a bit of a secret, but at about 3 o'clock in the morning, every morning, he likes to get out of bed, come down, get on his computer and start printing out photographs of black polo neck shirts.
Well, I guess it's my fault really. I used to love knitting them for him when he was a little boy, and then, yeah, I could just never get him out of them. It was just
wore them all the time, wore them in the summer. Yeah, you just loved him.
Phil hasn't always worn a black polo neck. In fact, in the 60s, he was somewhat of a style icon. Who do you think introduced the Beatles to suits? Phil Griffin. Who do you think introduced Beatles to polo necks? Obviously, Phil Griffin.
Well, there is a myth that Phil doesn't have a neck, and he's quite self-conscious about this.
Throat slit by a German.
Я заметила, что Фил всегда носит черную водолазку. Я думаю, что это, наверное, потому что он летает в космос очень часто. И это, скорее всего, самая удобная вещь, которую можно надеть под скафандр.
Apparently he had a really bizarre printing accident, and he was sprayed with really vicious black ink, and he's never been able to wash it out, so he wears it to hide it. That's what some people say. I kind of think it's because it makes him look austere and cultured.
Phil's happiest memory was probably getting married to Jordan, I think. I mean, I was a bit unsure at first, but yeah, no, definitely happiest day of his life, I think.
When we went canoeing together. We went on holiday because his parents are quite good friends with my parents, and we used to do loads of things together, and we used to have loads of fun, and I think it was the best holiday he'd been on.
Самое лучшее воспоминание Фила – это, безусловно, его первый полет в космос. Особенно, когда он увидел Землю со стороны. Никто ее не видел так до него.
Well, I don't really know because I only knew him in the war, and there weren't really many happy memories. But he always seemed happiest when he was killing people.
His happiest memory was when he first saw a polo neck jumper. I think it was love at first sight.
Он говорил, что она голубая и очень отчетливая. Судя по его описанию, мне сразу было понятно, что он был поражен красотой нашей планеты и того, что он увидел.
I think Phil's proudest memory would actually be introducing the world to Rolf Harris.
He invented the printing press. He spent a few years developing it, and when he finally unveiled it in 1436, it was probably his biggest achievement.
I know he'll say, watching Bobby Moore hold up the World Cup, but I know deep down he hates him for it.
Well, Phil produced some hits, but he also produced the misjudged song with Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder, Ebony and Ivory. I'd regret that.
Я не думаю, что человек с титулом «Первый человек в космосе» может о чем-то сожалеть.
Going in the Big Brother house, I'd say.
I think it was buying me instead of that Lexmark Platinum 45690.
That he stole my pencil. I didn't even know he liked Barbie.
Yeah, he didn't like it much.
Ну, может, только что он не додумался заснять это событие. Но если честно, такой замечательный человек, как он, не должен сожалеть ни о чем. Он герой, у него отличная семья, и самое главное, он хороший и храбрый мужчина.
Not inventing the printing press sooner.
Phil doesn't have regrets, he's a remorseless bitch.
I think he really wanted that printer, and he's always been disappointed with me ever since because I haven't got the same multifunctionality as the Lexmark.
It took him a few years to develop, and I think he would have really liked to have it done before 1436.
Безусловно, Фил Гриффин вдохновляет нас всех.
I'm sure there's many kids out there that agree with me that want to start football. I know he's a huge influence on people like David Beckham and Lennon King.
Phil Griffin's probably one of the biggest musical influences in the world.
Being a printer, I'm not very well able to judge people's personality.
No, I don't think he's an inspiration to others.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he really is an inspiration. I'm so proud of him.
He produced the signature sound of one of the greatest bands of all time.
I will not forgive him for stealing my Barbie pencil. Thank you.
Let it be.
Print fast, die young.
All you need is love.
Always eat your crusts. Keeps your hair curly.
We can work it out.
Well, I don't know what motto he lives by, but I would hope that he lives by best friends forever.
Его слоган, безусловно, это всегда на высоте.
Winning is all that matters.
Tomorrow never knows.
Print a day keeps the doctor away.
Kill them Germans. Said it all the time.